We have this idea about real women and fake women, right? And we automatically assume, you know, that girls that wear lots of weave and makeup and stuff like that get this sort of little, you know, title of being fake in certain circles. And then we have all these women, and, you know, as soon as their hair natural or they go vegetarian or something, they think they're so deep. Well, I think that's unfair. I think there's all sorts of women in all sorts of circles that are real, and all sorts of women in all sorts of circles that are fake. And just because some circles may seem more real than other circles doesn't mean they are, because fake exist in every circle. Empowered woman, queen. So you sex who you want to sex, empowered, right? Good enough to, but if they impregnate you, it's a problem, right? It seems to me you still spend enough lonely nights, and despite it all, you've got no one to hold you tight, but it's all right. Or so you say. But sister, we were made the same way. Don't let society's grade F fail you when you know you could change and deserve a grade A. You get weak and call it power. Don't get slack and call it choice. Don't get empty and think you're making it just because you're making the most noise. We all got different parental issues just based on the ways we were raised. So don't play hard when you know you cry just because these issues can't be erased. And don't play strong and end up beating up every man that tries to say hi just until he can find the exit in your maze. You say you want a good man, but you want one who won't tell you about your ways. You say you need a good man as long as he fades in the shadows and knows his place and matches the characters you've seen on days and doesn't make a fuss that he never gets his way, and you can cuss and berate him, but yet he stays. That man doesn't exist, so press the crinkles out your face and let's replace thoughts of perfection with some reality. You are not perfect, and you are certainly not a deity. So if you think you'll get far with your strategy, then you'll masturbate at home and that man will jerk, and you'll both sit thinking about why it didn't work. And maybe a baby will hang in the balance, bright and delightful, but riddled with the challenge inflicted by the inconsiderate parents who thought it was child's play, so they around and got a child's mind to play with. I see you with those locks that flow to the art in your back. You so deep, don't eat meat, walk barefoot when you can. Your face is a voice shouting, natural and liberated. But bad decisions and lack of precision leave your soul captivated. So accepting of everything as long as it isn't white. Is that why you refuse to get married? Or is it true that the guy who asked you lied? And what of this string of children with no daddy to balance them out? I thought you were so enlightened. Why you coming to bust my mouth? I see you in the corner smoking, higher elevation. See, most days of the week you smoking and on a vacation. Got a lot of dream talk, but no dream action in sight. But I guess you better than the rest of us because you start and end words with I. Or maybe that's the shit women do when we forget to really get high. Forget that we are a unit and start thinking me first all the time. Some of us got fooled for sure, but some of us just didn't wait to open up the sweet yoni we always talk about and give it to a man we'll soon hate. How about pausing and getting to know someone? Do it for empowerment's sake. How about seeing a man's roots first, or did his big dick get in the way? If you want to see a person's truth, it will take time and devotion. If he hasn't tried more than getting inside the physical ties, then maybe he isn't the right one. How dare you be angry at someone for not being who you want them to be? How dare you try to control others when your mirror is afraid of what it will see? When some women act like they can teach you how to live, though their life is a sieve, my nerves grate. So many will tell you about Sankofa and Ubuntu and tell you return to the great. But as soon as you do well for yourself, they return to hellfire talk and burn you out before you reach the gate of your potential. Enough of us feel we're presidential, but our life is shanty house and catching the bus. And that is cool too. If we aren't fronting like we know it all and got it all, let's just give God the trust. How can we judge our sister for exposing herself with no clothes when we expose our hearts and leave them in the dust? How can we be upset with a sister for leaving men alone when we make men our own, even when there is no foundation of trust? How can we judge the situations, love triangles of others when we live in love pentagons of unresolved exes and drama? How can we think that an outfit can say we are regal when we are sewing and then reaping the karma? Because a queen isn't born through accepting bad situations or having sex with many men and then deciding not to call them before they don't call you. A queen isn't about ruling others in the circle and then pretending all the time like we know what to do. Now, the men know that they do, walking around fooling women and then claiming to be polygamous. And lots of those who claim to be so centered got tempers and living real rough. But that's another piece, another reach, another time, another bit of cold, hard inspiration. This one is for the queen. Love the family members in your world right now. Don't start speaking to your mother and then play you pouring ancestral libation. Now, some of you will try to bring me down to my lowest form and say I think I'm perfect. But this piece isn't about me. This is about the queen potential because I know we're worth it. We can bring this beautiful woman into existence because every beautiful woman was woman birthed. Yes. Let us be queens in action, not necessarily in the things that we say we do, but in our everyday movements. Let emotions stay in their proper place while allowing integrity and honor to rule. A queen is about humbling yourself and learning, showing consideration and love to all, especially you. So if you plan on ruling something, anything, rule your life into order first. That way, the title queen will much better suit you. Rebel Glam.